Welcome back. I realized that I need to get my life together. And I feel like everyone says that to get the hook in. I was sitting and I was trying to study, and then I realized, oh, I should make a YouTube video about how things I wish I knew before I started university, or at least my first semester at university, because let me tell you, that shit hit me. That shit hit me hard. It really hit me hard. So, these are just a few things I wish I knew before I started my fall semester. So, if you are a student, I really do hope you watch this video, and I hope this just helps you just a little bit. If not, this will just be me ranting about the things I wish I remembered to do or did a little bit better. You don't need to have the perfect routine. Okay, I used to think that I needed this Pinterest level like morning routine to be productive, even like night routine. When I was younger, I used to starting into university, I found that I literally had morning routine, night routine, like by the hour, by the minute. Like if I was not doing that, I would be stressed and I was like freaking out because I did not get all my stuff done. And let me tell you, I didn't actually need a routine. I needed more flexibility. I needed to give myself the time and give myself like the flexibility to do other things other than the strict schedule I was putting myself into, and it kind of put me into this kind of box. So, give myself more liberty. Give yourself more liberty. Don't confine yourself into these little boxes. If you need a routine, that's good. But I don't think that you should plan your routine hour by hour. You should have a simple morning routine and a simple night routine and then add things to it, and not really like be like, okay, I need to do this by 7 p.m. or my routine, my whole day is ruined. So, tell myself, okay, I'm going to study this afternoon. So whenever I did get home, I would study a little bit. And I did not tell myself like I need to start at this time, because I found it made me very overwhelmed, very stressed. Editor Melina here. I just wanted to explain this a little better because I feel like I didn't say it the way I wanted to. I do plan my days. I do have like a routine in the morning and night, but it's just in my head and it's not timed. No, it's just like I have a routine. It's just not timed. It's not like set by the minute and the hour. And I do have my classes in my Google Calendar. I think it is very important to have a calendar. You should plan it, put like your due dates, like, oh, I'm seeing a friend like sometime this day. Like it's like time blocking, so you know when you are busy and when you are not and you're free. And then like I also do put like study, like work on this assignment, but it's more in like my to-do list, and it's just like there's no timing. It's just like I know that I have to do this task. I just don't plan my like day minute by minute anymore. I used to make these like super strict schedules, and honestly it really stressed me out. And if one thing didn't go like exactly planned, it like my whole day was like, oh, I feel so unproductive, So now I keep everything way more simple. My routine it's very flexible, and I know what I want to do, but I don't force myself into like this super tight timeline. So it gives me the structure, like making me feel trapped. So the same with my mornings and nights. Keep it really simple, nothing super complicated, because I feel like if you add a bunch of things, it gets more complicated and much harder to maintain. So that's all I wanted to say, gang. So gang, gnarly. You should start your assignments earlier than you think you need to start them. I'm not talking about like as soon as you get them, you just stop talking to everyone, you leave the lecture hall and you just you stop listening and you start doing it. No, I mean like you should start things as soon as you get them. So like just write a note, do them later today, and just try to get most of it done, so that way you have more time to be able to ask professors if you have questions about it. Don't leave it to last minute, because sometimes professors are not going to give you the extension that you might have had in high school or at cégep. So you really need to give yourself some buffer time, because you know that you are going to have questions for the professor, and you are going to need to give yourself time in case something might happen or you get more workload later. So this really helped me save some some breakdowns. Your future self will be more grateful, always get the work done earlier. I have mostly avoided office hours because I think that they're scary. I did not go because I thought that I would look very dumb or I was bothering the professor, but most of the time they want you to come ask questions. They like talking with you, they like learning more about you. They want to place a number and the name to a face. So the more you go, I think it's better to, if you want to have like lab time with a professor, it's really good to go see them and get your name done, because they're not going to give you a recommendation if you just met them and you're like, hi, can I have a recommendation, or can I work in your lab? No, you have to send them emails, go talk to them after the lecture, that kind of stuff. I unfortunately have not really listened to this rule because I live quite far from the university, so office hours just don't work with my timing. But if I lived very close, I would be going way more. Pretty notes don't matter as much as using them. I use OneNote, and usually the professor gives you the lecture notes. Like, they literally give you the PowerPoint, and I just insert it as a file document, and then I just write on the side information that I need. Or I will rewrite small notes into the side. I don't think that you should be rewriting notes or points that are already on the PowerPoint. You can read ahead of time, add things that you are thinking about, and then add stuff that the professor is saying. Because if you're taking time to rewrite the whole PowerPoint, plus what the teacher is saying, plus what you are thinking about it in questions, you're not going to have time, because they, at least for me, my professors move through, I think, 50 slides in an hour. And that's a lot. I remember in high school, we used to only go through like 12. I'd rather put more time into active recall and other study strategies rather than just rewriting notes and making them more pretty so I can like study off of them better. No, I can study on my ugly notes just as well as my pretty notes, and it takes way less time to start studying. Breaks matter more than motivation. I used to push through studying in like 5 hour, almost all nighters, chugging Red Bulls or Monsters, thinking that it was really getting me through, and I was actually learning. I was actually studying. But I found when I got back, did the exam, got my mark back, I saw that I might have failed or did poorly, even though I spent days, weeks, even maybe a month studying beforehand. And I just didn't understand why. And I think that not taking your breaks when you're studying actually makes you fail, because you're not giving your brain enough time to relax and take a break and say, okay, you've taken in all this information, now I'm going to give you a break. So if you're going to do like 30 minutes of studying, at least give yourself 5 minutes to just lay down, go pee, go touch some grass, girl, go touch some grass. Or, some people are very good at memorizing things. I am not. I need a lot of time to actually understand the material. And it's like that girl I keep seeing on TikTok, where the I think she's the dentist student or the health sci student, and she's like, okay, time to do like a 14-hour study period before my exam tomorrow. And she like chugs like 2 like coffees or 2 Red Bulls, and then she like goes into the exam room. She gets like an A plus. Some people are able to do that, but if you feel like you're doing that and you're struggling and you don't know why, maybe that's why. Because you are not taking breaks and you're not giving yourself enough time to study. You should be studying material as you get it. Like, make little quizzes, make a study guide as soon as you get a part of the lecture, so you can like study in small chunks instead of like a big chunk, because this is harder to memorize. You want to learn and understand it. I know the professors say that, but you actually have to know the material instead of just memorizing, because as soon as you start to learn what you're actually trying to memorize, you're going to see everything connects much better. You don't need every study tool on the planet. I tried many apps, every planner, every system. Honestly, I only use about maybe 2 or 3 apps. And then for planners, I just use a sticky note. And the system is honestly just a Pomodoro timer. I use Fokumon. Fokumon is like,
Here is Pokemon. Here you can set goals and you can click if you did the goal. Here is my party. I am in the fellowship with my sister. And then you can also edit your character and collect a bunch of new styles and you have your favorite Pokemon right beside you. I'm trying to get a yellow one. And then here are my Pokemon. You can collect them through the portal, and you have different types just like Pokemon. And you can also make quests for like specific classes and all that stuff. Put all your stuff in. You can also make stacks for routines and also give yourself rewards and habits you want to get. Here is where you go to focus. You can click a specific training site depending on which Pokemon you're using. So for the grass type, I'm going to be in a grass section so that I can get more rewards and XP to level myself as well as my current Pokemon. So you can also study with other Pokemon in this area, but if they are grass, they work better with grass. And then you can create quests if you haven't already, and also add subquests. So it is like under the main quest and then adds a percentage, and it tells you how much of that quest you have completed. And I'll just tack them off right now because I've done them. I'm so good. And then you can clear it as soon as you're done or hide already done ones. Here's my stack. I'll just take that away, but you can take breaks and see that other people are working and they have little quotes and they also say what they're doing. You can add them, cheer them on, and then you can also hide that, and you can add um, a timer and change like when you want an alarm clock so you can do the Pomodoro effect much better.
And for apps, I use Quizlet or Gizmo. It makes it seem more like a game than studying. That's why I like it. So I think that you just need to focus on using, if you're using apps, use one or two. Don't freak out and buy like subscriptions. You don't need subscriptions for studying. Even if people are like, oh yeah, this is how I get like 100%. No. Yeah, you don't need every tool. You have main tools right here. So don't buy anything. It is a waste of money. Save your money for other things like coffee or food or paying towards tuition. I just wanted to talk a little bit about some mistakes I did in my 2 semesters. So I think my biggest mistake was pretending I wasn't overwhelmed and that I was able to do all the workload. I was just like, oh yeah, it's easy. Like, if anything, it's too easy. Like, I feel like they can make it harder. And the second I admitted that I was overwhelmed and I talked to people about it, I realized we're all kind of overwhelmed and we all kind of need someone to talk to about it. I feel like if you hold it in, it starts to get too much, and that's when the burnout really happens. And you have to really resist saying that. You have to kind of admit it. Even if you're just going to journal it, you really need to get it out, because if you keep it inside, you're really going to get burnout and you're not going to be able to study and you're not going to be able to be as productive as you want to. You have to take care of your health. You have to, at least do some form of physical health, mental health. You have to still take care of those things, even if you are like cramming for an exam. I try to hit the gym 3 times a week minimum. And then for my mental health, I do hobbies like crocheting, painting, drawing, journaling, things that don't have anything to do with school. So try, I know it's hard, but you have to try and keep those habits up because you don't want to lose yourself. Try to keep a social circle. If you don't have any friends at school, that's okay. I literally only met one person in university so far that I actually enjoy, and we hang out outside of school. So it's not just you, I also struggle with that. It's not, if you're not extroverted, it's a bit harder to meet people. Even if you're extroverted, I've met a lot of people where they say like people are just not talking anymore. And I get it. And you don't have to be perfect to do well in school or to just do well in general. You have to adjust your habits and make sure you're not falling into this like endless routine of just study, go to school, sleep, eat. Study, go to school, eat, sleep. Like you have to add joy into your life, really, and you'll feel so much lighter. If you take anything from this video, it's that small habits matter more than the perfect ones. Small, good, maybe even imperfect habits, even if they're small, will accumulate and make such a better outcome than just a big one that is just so like ugly and messy, not, and it's last minute, it's rushed, and it's just, that will help you a lot. And I would say make sure to take care of yourself and really enjoy school. I think school, sometimes you think that you're not good enough and you are good enough. I know sometimes you feel like you don't belong in a program because other people are doing so much better and they have friends and they have everything well going for them, but this is not the end for you. You have so much more coming your way and you just have to work for it, okay? And I know that sounds like, what do you mean I have to work for it? Like, I don't want to work for it. I mean, like, enjoy every process when you are working towards something and you will get it, okay? I hope you guys have a great semester. I know we're almost done. We have to push through it. Make sure you study, eat well, get some training in, see some friends, have a great end of the semester, guys.